Hey, we're trying something new. I know many of you guys just can't make Wednesdays off and on because of sports, because of distance, because of band, whatever. So I want to offer an opportunity where you are able to catch up or keep up with everybody that's coming to midweek on a regular basis. So if you don't know, we are in a series called Real Friends. Real Friends, we're talking about, guess what? Yeah, you got it, your friends. So this is week one. We're actually covered week two, and there's a video following this that you can catch up with week two as well. It's a 3-week series, and I just want to kind of jump into this right now if you don't mind. So the week one, we are talking about real friends and how our friends act, or maybe how we want our friends to act. So what I'm talking about here is we all have friends that kind of draw on us. They tend to expect us to act a certain way, or maybe we expect our friends to act a certain way, probably more the latter. And when that happens, when our friends don't act the way we want them to act, then we start realizing, or we start thinking that they don't care for us or whatever. And in reality, what we should be doing is acting the way we want our friends to act. So in other words, we should be treating our friends the way we want our friends to be treating us. So no, this is not just a scripture lesson. I want to give you one verse here. In John 13:4-5, we are looking at Jesus, and he's at the Last Supper. Now, if you realize the Last Supper is a time where he is sitting with the disciples, he knows he's going to be dying, and at this point, he could be kind of saying, hey, what are my friends going to do for me? How are they going to act? But instead, what we have here in 4-5, we have, and we're talking about Jesus, right? So he got up from the meal, took off his outer clothes, and wrapped a towel around his waist. After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash his disciples' feet, drying them with the towel that he had wrapped around him. So what we have here is Jesus, who is God, right? Jesus is God in human form, who is the most important person on the earth, and he is washing the disciples' feet. Why is that significant? Washing of the feet was the responsibility of a servant, and usually the lowest servant, because quite frankly, everybody's walking around in sandals or barefooted, and feet are filthy. And so we have Jesus, God, washing the disciples' feet. We have the person of the most authority doing the task that is normally left for the person with the least authority. So what he's doing is treating them the way he would have them treat him, right? So I think I said that right. So he is treating them the way they should be treating him. So what we're saying here, what are we supposed to glean out of that, is how do you treat your friends? Do you treat your friends in a manner that is respectful? Do you treat your friends, treating them as if they're more important than you are? And if not, then maybe you should, if that's the way you want them to act towards you. Hopefully that's making some sense there. So another verse we have here is Luke. We are in the 6th chapter of Luke. I'm looking at verse 31. It says, do to others as you would have them do to you. Again, Jesus, during the Last Supper, is playing this scripture out. And this is Jesus telling the disciples this as well. We're supposed to be treating people. So what's that mean for us in a day-to-day life, right? Many of times we are left out of group chats, or you find out a bunch of your friends went to a show or an event together and you weren't invited. Our human reaction, right? Our human reaction is to get mad, to get upset, to kind of say, okay, well, next time I do something, I'm not going to invite them. I'm going to invite these other people, but I'm going to exclude them because they excluded me. But on the contrary, what we should be doing is, All right, I got left out of that group chat. I'm going to have another group chat, but I'm going to make sure that my friends are included in it. Or, yeah, I got left out of that trip to the mall or shopping or whatever. I'm going to make sure that all my friends that are possible can go with us. So you include them. And what you will find out is that the people around you will start treating you the same way that you are treating them. Now, I get it. Some of you guys have a ton of friends, and for you, you can kind of bounce back and forth. But I know that there's some of you out here that you don't have many friends. Maybe you don't have any friends at all. It's important to know how to do this, though. Remember that you will have some friends eventually, somewhere along the way. Maybe it's not even in high school. Maybe by the time you get to college. I know a real good friend of mine, all during high school, they basically didn't have any friends. But during college, they did. So eventually you will have friends, and keep this in mind. That is the way we should be treating others. We should be always treating everybody that way, but particularly our friends. If we want them to act the way we want them to act toward us in a manner that's respectful and that's inclusive, then we should always be acting toward our friends respectful and inclusive. So anyway, that was kind of the nutshell of verse 1. I hope that made some sense. I know I stumbled a little bit. Hopefully I get better at this. It's really kind of tough talking to nobody and just talking to a camera. If this is something that you're liking, give me some feedback. Please give me some feedback. If you don't want this, if you want more material than this, because this is a pretty short snippet, let me know. And we'll continue doing this if you guys find this of value. All right? Have a blessed day. Bye.